Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Joe Wishakamuk is back here with another video for you guys. And, guys, it is Saturday night, and I'm going to be giving you my game picks for week 6 of the 2022 NFL season. So let's jump right on into it, guys. Coming up with the first game here, we have the 3-2 49ers at the 2-3 Falcons. So the Falcons, I'm actually kind of impressed. They've won 2 games already. They're not going to be like a 2-14 team, I don't think. Niners, meanwhile, hanging on by a thread. This is a very rare occasion where the NFC West is actually not remotely as strong as it usually is. Seattle's not good. Arizona has been a disappointment. LA has been a disappointment. So, 3-2, you may think, with the NFC West that they don't have a chance, but no, the NFC West again is weaker than usual this year. It is in Atlanta, but the Niners, this is a must-win for them. They know they need to keep the pace and stay ahead of the division. So I think the Niners should be able to take care of business here, guys. I know they're dealing with a lot of injuries, but give me San Francisco pulling this out in a low-scoring game, 21-17. Next game, guys, we have the 2-3 Patriots at the 2-3 Browns. A must-win for both teams. The Patriots are feeling pretty good after dominating the Lions last week. And hey, I know the Lions aren't good, but at the same time, I think they're a well-coached team, and they're also really hard to blow out. I feel like that they've lost a lot of nail-biters. Last week was not a nail-biter. The Patriots beat them pretty easily and pretty single-handedly. Browns, meanwhile, are definitely slumping. Jacoby Brissett has not been very good the past few weeks. He's been turning the ball over more. And, Chubb has been excellent, but, he can only do so much. The defense hasn't been great. It has been dealing with injuries, to be fair. The game is in Cleveland, but I think the Patriots are going to win this game, guys. I just think, again, they're a much better coached team. The Browns are in a big-time slump right now. The Patriots are feeling good after the win last week. So give me New England winning this game, guys, 24-20. Should be a good game, though. Next game, guys, we have the 3-2 Jets at the 3-2 Packers. So the Jets are overperforming so far. They have had several good games. They beat the Steelers, and I forget who else they beat, but the Jets have actually been doing okay so far. So they're sitting here at 3-2. Zach Wilson is back. Packers, meanwhile, are not feeling so good after that loss last week to the Giants. Very surprising. They had the lead for a long time. That was in London, of course, and they kind of choked. They choked last week. So they're going to go into this game very motivated, I think. But at the same time, the Jets they have been decent as well. However, with it being in Green Bay and the Packers very, very angry after losing last week to the Giants, I think the Packers should be able to take care of business here. Again, they play much better at home than on the road. Hopefully, they're not jet-lagged anymore from London. But give me the Packers winning this game, guys, 27-23. Next game, guys, we have the 2-3 Jaguars at the 2-1 Colts. So the Jaguars got off to kind of an interesting start. I think that they were 2-1 at one point, and they actually showed some promise. But the past couple of weeks, they have not been good, and they're right back to where we thought they were. So they're not good, of course. Colts, meanwhile, very back and forth so far. There are times where they've looked really good. There are times where they've looked really, really bad. I think the last time they played was Thursday night against the Broncos. I think they won that. Or no, they lose that game. I think maybe the Broncos won like 11-10 or something. I forget. It was a pretty pathetic performance on both sides. And then, of course, so they're getting rid of the Jaguars early. The Colts played the Jaguars earlier this season in Jacksonville and got shut out. The Jaguars just seem to have the Colts number to an extent, but when it's been in Indianapolis, the Colts have generally been able to win the games. It's when it's in Jacksonville where the Colts just cannot win for some reason. So, since they're back at home, it's a must-win for them. I do think the Colts are going to be able to win this game. The Jaguars are struggling right now. The Colts are dealing with injuries, I know, as well. No Jonathan Taylor and no Nyheim Hines. So their running game will be neutralized probably, but they should still be able to find a way to win. Their defense can play well too. So give me the Colts winning this game, guys, 24-17. Next game, guys, we have the 4-1 Vikings at the 3-2 Dolphins. So the Vikings are doing pretty well right now. They're clicking on a lot of cylinders. Offensively, they're doing well. Defensively, they've been, okay. Dolphins, meanwhile, 3-2. starting to lose a little bit of steam, but they've also been battling injuries. Of course, Tua Tagovailoa has been dealing with a more serious concussion. Waddle and Hill both have been dealing with injuries. I don't know what their status is for this week. I know Tagovailoa is not playing this week, but he should be able to play next week. That's what I've heard. It is in Miami, but the Dolphins, again, are kind of banged up right now. I know the Vikings do struggle on the road, but I think the Vikings should be able to take care of business here. Again, they're playing the Dolphins when they're down. The Vikings are pretty hot right now as well. So I'm going to go with the Vikings here, guys, 31-24. Next game, guys, we have the 2-3 Bengals at the 2-3 Saints. So the Bengals coming off a loss to Baltimore last week. You'd love to see that. Saints, meanwhile, just not very good. I mean, I think they did beat the Panthers last week, but they're definitely underperforming this year. Again, though, they too have been dealing with a lot of injuries. Jameis Winston, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, a lot of injuries going on. I don't really think they're getting much healthier either, though. I think they still got plenty of injuries to contend with. It is in New Orleans, but I think that the Bengals are going to win this game. They're eager for a bounce-back win after losing to Baltimore last week, and they're also much healthier. So I'm going to go with the Bengals winning this game, guys. Let's go with Cincinnati, 35-20. And here we go, guys. Without further ado, next game, we have the 3-2 Ravens at the 4-1 Giants. So, Ravens coming off a win against Cincinnati last week, as I just mentioned. The Giants, meanwhile, are, this will be another test to see if the Giants are truly for real or not. I really didn't think they were. I thought they were going to fall off. But, them coming back and beating Green Bay last week did actually, it made me step aside and kind of think about it for a little bit. Maybe the Giants are actually a decent team. Now, if you don't remember, last year I actually was high on the Giants. I thought that they were being totally slept on, but that did not age well. The Giants sucked last year. But this year, the Giants are actually looking okay. I think the big difference is just that Saquon Barkley is finally, I'm not going to say fully healthy, but he's semi-healthy. He finally doesn't have a torn ACL. And, man, he is just, he's been the most disrespected running back in the NFL for so long. He just could not stay healthy. Now that he's at least somewhat healthy, he's just so good. I, myself, guys, in this game and just in general, I'm not scared of Daniel Jones. I got to be honest. I don't think Jones is that good. I think that Barkley is carrying that offense. However, defensively, they've been doing okay. Of course, Don Martindale, the new defensive coordinator, he does seem to be clicking well with the defense and the scheme. The Giants have been battling some injuries. Leonard Williams has been dealing with injuries. I think some guys in their secondary are as well. But their defense has been, starting to come along, and they made some good adjustments last week against the Packers in the second half. This game is also in New York. The Giants play much better at home. And again, originally on the schedule, I thought this was going to be an easy win. I thought that the Giants were going to suck, but not so fast. And again, I don't think the Giants are elite or anything, and I do think we'll start to see some regression in them, but they are playing a lot better this year, and I definitely think they're better this year than they have been in past years. Ravens, meanwhile, for us, we're dealing with injuries, of course, because it's never a year without them. No Rashad Bateman tomorrow, no Justice Hill, no Ben Cleveland. I know he probably wouldn't play anyway, but no Bateman tomorrow is the big thing. So we're going to have to, Duvernay and the secondary guys are going to have to step up. And, we'll see if we can do that. The running game, of course, has been better the past couple of weeks. We need to continue that. But it's a lot of we need tos and a lot of ifs. And I don't know, the Giants are playing with a lot of passion right now. They're at home. I think this is going to be a good game. I definitely don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think the Giants are going to win this game. I do worry about Martindale. I worry about our offense succeeding against the Giants' defense. Martindale is very creative, and he does blitz a lot, and I know we've been better against the blitz, but it does worry me a little bit. So I'm going to go with the Giants pulling this one out, guys. It should be a good game, but give me New York winning this one 23-20. Next game, guys, we have the 3-2 Buccaneers at the 1-4 Steelers. Excuse me. So the Buccaneers, struggling to a point. They've been kind of back and forth. They got smoked by the Chiefs, but then won last week. Steelers, meanwhile, are very much heading in the wrong direction. They got absolutely shellacked last week by the Bills. It's in Pittsburgh, but the Bucks, this is a must-win for them. They need to stay ahead of the pace. Granted, the AFC South is kind of trash, so they should win the division pretty easily. But still, every game counts, and they know that they need to stay ahead of the pace. It's on the road, but the Steelers are, they have Kenny Pickett as their QB1 right now. And again, he's a rookie. He's got potential, but he's been put in a really tough situation, and there's no way that he's gonna be able to turn this team around fully this year. So despite it being in Pittsburgh, I think the Bucks should be able to take care of business in this one. So give me the Bucks winning this game, guys. 27-14. Next game, guys, we have the 1-4 Panthers at the 2-3 Rams. So the Panthers have definitely been a disappointment so far this year. A lot of raw young talent, but it's just not executing. Derek Brown, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. I mean, Moore and Anderson have been fine, but they just seem really frustrated with the scheme, and it just doesn't seem like they're executing well. And then, of course, Baker Mayfield, as the quarterback one, has just not been playing well. He still thinks he's really good. I would beg to differ. I really don't think that he is. He showed flashes in Cleveland, but I just think that he's generally just a disappointment because he was, of course, the number 1 overall pick. He just can't seem to get it going right now. I know it's a new team and all, but he just does not have it. Rams, meanwhile, have been an even bigger disappointment. They're sitting here at 2-3. They kind of got lassoed by the Cowboys last week, and the Cowboys, mind you, were playing through a lot of injuries last week. Parsons, he played through because he's a tough son of a gun. But he was hobbled. You could see he was, he had certain injuries going on throughout the game. He still played through it and still made a huge impact. Parsons, man, that guy is special. But anyways, the Rams, they need to get their stuff together. Defensively, they haven't looked the same as they have the past couple years. Offensively, they have not looked the same either. Kupp, not himself. Stafford, not himself. They are in somewhat of a desperate situation right now. They need to step it up for sure. But I think this is a good opportunity for them to do it. They're at home. The Panthers are struggling big time, and they likely are going to make some trades soon too. I heard rumors Robbie Anderson, Derek Brown, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, at least one of those guys will probably get traded. Hopefully to Baltimore. We'll see. But regardless, the Rams should be able to take care of business here and get a bounce back win. So give me the Rams winning this game, guys. 31-17. Next game, guys, we have the 2-3 Cardinals at the 2-3 Seahawks. So again, as I mentioned earlier, the NFC West is not remotely as good this year as it usually is. Cardinals disappointing so far. Seahawks, I think most people could agree that they were not going to be that good this year. But the Cardinals need to get their stuff together. They're dealing with some injuries. They still are waiting for Hopkins to come back. I actually think this is his last game of being suspended. I think it was a 6-game suspension, and it's week 6. So supposedly next week he could come back. But I also don't think he can practice with the team either. So he probably he may not play next week with that in mind. It might give him a couple weeks of practice ramp up. I don't know. But regardless, no Hopkins in this game yet. And I think they really miss him, man. And I think Hopkins is finally healthy. And just wait. When Hopkins comes back, I think that offense is going to change a lot. But anyways, Marquise Brown has actually been okay. I still question if he's a true wide receiver 1, but he's been doing okay. He and Kyler Murray, they had chemistry earlier. They played football together before the NFL, so that helps. But they clearly need some more weapons. Defensively, they haven't been great. But I think the Cardinals are going to be able to win this game. It's in Seattle, but the Seahawks simply are not good. They've got injuries. They have no true quarterback. So given the Cardinals winning this game, guys, let's go with Arizona 30-23. Next game, guys, this would be a really good game. We have the 4-1 Bills at the 4-1 Chiefs. So this is gonna be a show. Bills Chiefs. Nothing can compare to last year's divisional round game. That was crazy. I don't think we'll have an exact repeat, but it should be a pretty high intensity game. So the Bills. 4-1. They are playing pretty good football right now. Let's see. They lost to the Dolphins. Kind of got upset, and they should have lost to the Ravens, but we don't need to worry about that. But then last week, After a couple quote-unquote rough games, last week they really seemed to bounce back. They absolutely destroyed Pittsburgh. And of course, if you remember last year, the Steelers went into Buffalo and shocked them. Not complete opposite this time. The Bills destroyed them. Offensively, they clicked. Defensively, they clicked. They were, winning on all cylinders, clicking on all cylinders. And the Bills, man, when healthy, their defense is actually really good, and I think it's finally healthy. But I said that last year, and despite the Bills' defense being healthy, it just does not seem to have an answer for the Chiefs. The Chiefs, I feel like every single time they've played, it has been a shootout, and the Bills' defense just has not had an answer for Mahomes. And I think it's going to be the same case here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Bills defense, again, pretty good. Chiefs defense, not very good up and down, but regardless, I think both defenses are not gonna see much defense tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a very high scoring game. Again, a shootout. Chiefs, meanwhile, are really starting to look like their 2018 through 2020 selves. They're dominant on offense. They're scoring on almost every drive. Their defense, again, not great, but it's playing well enough to keep up with the offense. It's in Kansas City. The Chiefs, very hard to beat them at Arrowhead. I think the Chiefs are going to get this win, guys. Another time where the Bills just cannot seem to pull it out against Kansas City. It's going to be close. It's going to be a great game. But give me the Chiefs winning this game, guys. Let's go with Kansas City 34-31 in a thrilling game. Next game, guys, is our Sunday Night Football game, and this should be a good game as well. We have the 4-1 Cowboys at the 5-0 Eagles, the only undefeated team left. So the Cowboys are feeling pretty good right now. They, despite not having Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush has been, getting the job done, I'll say. He obviously hasn't been great, but he's been getting the job done. And I would say the big takeaway for the Cowboys this season is their defense has really come a long way. It had been a liability the past few years. Their offense was kind of carrying. Their defense is arguably probably the strength of the team right now. It's been playing really, really well. Micah Parsons, of course, but they also have DeMarcus Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs has been pretty good as well. Excuse me. So the Cowboys are playing pretty good right now. Leighton Vander Esch has also been playing pretty well. But the Eagles, meanwhile, they're clicking on all cylinders. I really wasn't expecting them to get off to this hot of a start, but they're playing really well. Offensively, Jalen Hurts is having a pretty good year, and then you got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Terrific offensive weapons, plus Miles Sanders. And then defensively, hey, they may be old, but the old men still got it, Fletcher Cox, Darius Slay, whoever they have on defense, they've been playing well, and they're getting the job done. So Philadelphia at home, this is a huge rivalry game. I want to go with the Cowboys. I want to say they're going to ruin the Eagles' perfect season, but I'm going to have to go with the Eagles here, guys. The big player here, it's in Philadelphia. Cowboys much, much better at home than on the road. I know they did go into LA and win last week, but generally they're much better at home. And the Eagles playing at home, they seem really hard to beat right now. They're not unbeatable, but the Eagles are pretty dang good. So I'm going to go with Philadelphia winning this game, guys. Should be a very good game, classic NFC East showdown, but give me the Eagles winning this game 27-24. Next game, guys, this is our last game, our Monday Night Football game. We have the 2-3 Broncos and the 3-2 Chargers. So the Broncos, huge disappointment so far. Yes, they've been battling injuries, but, they made a lot of moves in the offseason. It just hasn't been panning out. Of course, Russell Wilson was a big acquisition, and he has just been god-awful so far. Now, I know I saw a report after, I think it was it the Thursday night? Yeah, I think it was the Thursday night game. Apparently, he's got like a torn muscle in his throwing shoulder. So, obviously, that is contributing to his poor performance. But, when he's playing through it and they're paying him a crap ton of money, you can only make so many excuses. And he still hasn't been playing well regardless. The defense has been okay, but still could be better. And just they gotta click better on offense. Their offense has been neutralized so far. Chargers, meanwhile, per usual, they're inconsistent. It's an absolute roller coaster. When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're off. Herbert specifically, he can be on, he can be really off. But I think that the Chargers are playing the Broncos at a perfect time because the Broncos just don't seem to have it right now. Offensively, they're not playing well. Defensively, they're okay, but they're not doing great. And with it being in LA, too, that makes a big difference. I think the Chargers are going to get this win, guys. I think they're the better all-around team. I think they're somewhat healthier, despite their receivers, of course, always having injury issues. Defensively, I know defensively they got some injury issues as well. But I think the Chargers should be able to win this game, guys. It should be close. AFC West games are generally close, so give me the Chargers winning this game. Excuse me. Let's go with LA here, guys. 30-27. I think Wilson will have his best game of the season, but the Chargers win 30-27. And guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens, and I will see you guys tomorrow after the Ravens game. We'll see what the result will be. Go Ravens.